Morning, everyone. Again, wanted to get up bright and early, hit the gym, make sure I recorded some content for you before I head off to Flip Hacking Live for the day. And in this video, what I wanted to do was talk to you about Zillow offers. If you haven't heard, Zillow is following Redfin, Open Door, and the like, where they are now, frankly, large public companies that are now in the cash home buying business. You could think of them being potentially one of the largest flippers out there. And they just entered Sacramento. A few people that happen to watch this channel are in Sacramento and sent me messages and a voicemail saying, hey, can you do a video on Zillow entering Sacramento and kind of what you think it means for everyone, right? Sellers, buyers, investors, wholesalers, flippers, and just give you your feel. So first and foremost, I think I did a video about Zillow or Redfin. I'm not sure, or Open Door. I'm not sure which one it was. Probably like 3 months ago. And my feeling back then was basically, they don't know how to do this. They're buying on they're buying with Google Maps and a truckload of money, and they're going to go bankrupt, right? Because they're just going to lose on most transactions. I have now done a fair amount of reading and digging in, and while certainly if you look at their financials, which they are public, so they push those out, their first, I don't know, entry into the market wasn't great. They lost money on a lot of their initial purchases. But what you're seeing is they are getting better, right? So what I think is going to happen is when Zillow or Open Door or whatever gets into a market like Sacramento, the part of this video, is they're going to get focused. It's like I talk about in the course, right? People need to get focused and learn their market. Zillow is going to learn the market better than anyone. They have the data, the stats, they have everybody coming to their site and looking up Z estimates and all of those things. So their ability to use big data to find markets or find kind of sub-markets, right? They're not buying all over Sacramento, right? They're going to be buying in segments or areas of Sacramento. Not only are they going to be buying in areas of Sacramento, but they're going to be buying a type, right? For example, maybe they're buying 3 or 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 1 level story homes between 12 and 1,700 square feet, right? They're not going to be buying everything from a 1 bedroom house built in the 30s to a 20,000 square foot estate, right? They would be foolish to do that. But what I believe they're going to do when they enter a market is they're going to take all this big data that they have, and they're going to say, okay, Sacramento, right? Sacramento is of some size. It's got so many transactions. Let's go in and get our piece. Now, whatever that is for them, 1, 2, 3%, I don't know. That's for them to decide. But they're going to do that by being selective. It's just like I teach the students in my class. They're going to get focused on an area, right? Maybe it's a zip code, and then it's a property type. So that's what I think is going to happen. Now, what's going to happen for sellers? I think sellers are going to have another option. I think they're going to keep marketing and keep raising their profile. They're going to keep using Google AdWords and online cookies and all of these things, so that when someone in Sacramento in the areas that they choose decides to even think about selling, one of their banner ads or pop-ups or sponsored ads will come up, and they're going to go, hey, let's go to Zillow and see what they would offer. So again, Zillow's strength is obviously offering all cash and speed. But something I didn't realize in the beginning is they do charge a 7% service fee, right? I originally thought, hey, if they offer 100, the seller gets 100, right? Hence no commission. Not true. They charge a 7% service fee, which part of that they use to pay a brokerage to do the paperwork. So, when you are offered 100, you really get 93 because there's a 7% service fee. So not quite all cash at the number. So there is some room for us small folks to play. So again, what does this mean? So sellers are going to get this ad. What does it mean for buyers and investors? Well, I think you need to figure out what Zillow wants, right? If you go and you need to figure out where is Zillow competing, right? Where do they want to plant their flag? What kind of opportunities do they want? And then you need to decide, do you want to compete with a somebody who's got a truck full of money who can do skinny deals and is probably going to get the first call because of their technology and the ability to do breadcrumbs and pop-up ads and all of that stuff. So you have to make a call. Do you want to focus on the same stuff as Zillow or Open Door or Redfin or whoever else is doing this? Or do you want to say, okay, you want to go play in zip code 123? I'm going to play in the ones next to it, for example. Okay, you want to play in the bread and butter 3242 13 to 1700 square feet. Great. I'm going to go slightly smaller. I'm going to focus on 1,000 square feet and under. I think the best thing to do as an individual investor, right? Somebody who's being a flipper, a wholesaler, is not to chase the same inventory because I just think that's a fool's errand in my opinion. So that is something I'm thinking. The other thing that I think is going to happen is I think marketing costs are going to go up. Right, a lot of people have been doing Google AdWords or whatever they're called, and I'm guessing Zillow and Redfin are going to come in and start spending pay per click pretty heavy. So if you're in a business and you're in a market and they come in, I'm guessing your pay per click is going to go up. I have yet to see any marketing from them, right, outside of web based or yeah, web based, online based. But maybe they're going to start sending out mailers as well. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. So in the end, I think marketing costs have gone up. I think you should not compete with them. So those are the things. And then again, I think at least to this point, Zillow, Redfin, Open Door, they're all focused on being flippers. So the one thing that they need to watch out for is building up too much inventory if the cycle turns. Um, Not saying the cycle is going to go down 2% a month like it did before, but it will be interesting to see if they have an alternative exit, right? Because at this point, at least according to their first earnings announcement with these stats, they're not afraid to exit at a loss, right? I don't remember the numbers, but it was hundreds, right? They had sold hundreds of homes and like 50% they lost money on. So realize that they're not afraid to do that because they have the capital and the ability to raise more behind them. So it's going to be interesting. I think marketing costs go up. I think competition has gotten up for a certain segment. I don't think Zillow is going to go after everything. So there's still places to play. You just need to be a little more strategic. I do think Zillow and Open Door coming in is going to cause people to do less transactions. So if you have a big staff that's reliant on a certain number, you may have to do some cutting because I don't think the biggest players in Sacramento are going to do the same amount of transactions they did last year because I think Zillow is going to suck some of the oxygen out of the market. So realize if you were doing 50 transactions in Sacramento in 2018 maybe, you'll probably do 35 or 40 maybe in 2020 just because Zillow sucked out some of the oxygen. So that's what I think. I think Zillow coming in is great. Anytime the market's more efficient, it's great. I do think marketing costs go up. I do think sellers are helped. I do think inventory gets turned. So net net, I'm pretty positive on Open Door and Zillow making an impact, eventually getting the data. Because if I truly believe that knowing your market wins, right? The person who knows the market the best wins. And Zillow and Redfin and Open Door have more data than any individual human or company. So if they should be able to use that to their strength. So that's what I think. Thanks for asking. If you have any questions, remember we have subscriber questions on this channel. You can just leave them in a comment and I will do my best to answer them. Have a great day. Talk to you later.